Hello everyone. Welcome all to Hit or Miss. I'm your host, Night Strike, and the panelists I had ready this evening didn't show up. The people I had invited didn't show up, and we only have Kingpin and Gizzard. So, Gizzard, introduce yourself.
Oh, what a disappointment. We only have Gizzard and Kingpin here. Well, anyway, Gizzard Gary, thanks for the invite. I'm glad I could stand in for the good people you had invited.
Well, I didn't mean it like that. Jesus. Go to extremes, why don't you?
That's what you said.
Oh.
Ask Kingpin if you don't believe me.
We have Kingpin as well. What's going on, David?
Not too much, man. Thanks for having me, brother.
No problem. All right, so we got a couple topics to talk about tonight, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. I tried to get him on Kingpin, but he doesn't want to jump in ever. So, but we got some topics, some good and bad ones. I don't know what we want to talk about first. Did anybody bring a topic that they want to talk about?
I mean, if you guys don't have anything else you want to talk about, we could talk about revolvers.
No.
They go round and around and around.
They do, and I only have one wheel gun, so.
I got two.
I only have one. Sigh.
Okay, well,
all right.
Here's my topic.
Yeah. I'm not a wheel gun guy. I mean, I like using them, but I'm not. I only own one, and I don't even use it.
Let's talk about something even cooler then. How about 1911's? John Moses Browning's invention.
1911's, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
who doesn't like a good 1911?
I got to shoot my friend's 38 Super this weekend.
Nice. I'd like to shoot one.
He still refuses to sell it to me, but he let me shoot it.
Well, I wouldn't sell it to you either. So, anyways, Clint is out there saying 9mm on sale about everywhere, and AC-97 is like, crucify me. That's great. He's saying I have 0 wheel guns. Crucify me. No, I'm not going to crucify you, AC. I only have one, and mine's in an old caliber, so it ain't your fault.
You can get into wheel guns for cheap. I mean, you can get a Heritage Rough Rider, or if you want to move up a little bit, Rigger's got that new Wrangler right now, which is kind of cool looking, for about $250. Actually, that's MSRP, so it should go closer to $2. If you could find one in a store, which I haven't been able to yet.
Yeah. All right. So, what do we want to talk about tonight first? All right. I guess first we're going to talk about how Switzerland is basically not gun friendly anymore. Okay. Apparently, Swiss voters approved EU-style gun control laws. As some of you know, the European Union's directive on firearms has been implemented in the Schengen Agreement member countries for 3 years now. While Switzerland isn't an EU member, the country is part of the agreement, which largely abolishes border controls within Europe. The EU used Switzerland's membership as leverage to pressure the Swiss to vote for EU-style gun control. Yesterday, the Swiss voted 2-1 to adopt EU-style restrictions on gun ownership. And this is the part that what they used to tell everyone. Okay, they lied and told everyone that there were exemptions for how they're used in the country already. But when you go and look at the laws, there are no exemptions. So I'm going to go through and read this. But the referendum proposition was highly debated in Switzerland, which has maintained compulsory military service and has a long tradition of marksmanship, including what is billed as the world's largest annual shooting competition. And apparently that's going away. The government had warned voters that Switzerland, which is not a member of the European Union, but follows many of its rules, could lose its membership in the agreement, which allows for free movement among 26 European countries if it rejected stricter gun rules. And polls closed at midday local time, and the final results showed that almost 64% voted in favor to tighten gun control, in line with what opinion polls had predicted. Only the citizens of the Italian-speaking region of Switzerland rejected the gun initiative. Well, Italians like their guns. I mean, who knew?
They like their pizza too.
Well, Italian-speaking Swiss like their guns. But the Swiss government sold the referendum, telling voters that it had negotiated exceptions to the law. The Swiss parliament approved the new rules last September, but firearms and hunting lobbyists and associations with the support of right-wing Swiss People's Party campaigned to force a national referendum. The true story is there is no exceptions, and that the new law turns the right to own semi-automatic firearms a privilege linked to an activity, sport, collection, etc. All semi-automatic handguns holding more than 20 rounds of rifles holding more than 10 rounds will go into the restricted category, which will now be only accessible with government approval. All firearms once legally owned will now need to be declared and added to the EU-wide registry. Assuming full compliance, a big if, that means every Swiss gun owner will be known to all EU law enforcement agencies with a list of who owns firearms. It's a bad idea. The law is supposed to be tightened by parliamentary vote in 2 years and then every 5 years afterwards, if there's no sign that it stopped terrorism or criminal acts. And since this will do nothing against terrorism, and terrorism will still happen, it will be tightened. Protel, Switzerland's pro-gun organization, opposed the new law and fought hard against it. They collected 125,000 petition signatures within 3 months to force a national referendum on this in hopes that the public would reject what Parliament had already passed. They wanted to counter what they called it as the treasonous acts of their government and Parliament. Only the conservative Swiss People's Party supported the referendum, and they have only about 35% of the vote in Switzerland. That meant in order to win, they needed about 15% of the centrist public vote in favor of the laws. Oh no, in favor of keeping the new law off the books. Excuse me, and they couldn't get that 15%. Unfortunately, 64% of the voters in Sunday's referendum supported tougher restrictions on semi-automatic and automatic weapons. The Swiss people have the highest rates of firearm ownership in Europe. Close to 48% of homes have a firearm, but it wasn't enough. Their same party voiced concern about how gun control laws would affect Swiss national sovereignty. Well, yeah, it's going to affect it, all right. And they said by approving stricter gun control, Switzerland has given in to the pressure by the EU. And it's true. They have. So, yeah. And here's I'm going to screen share this real quick because in this article, it shows the southern part. The southern part they were talking about is this one right here, is the Italian part, and they were completely against it. But that's all of Switzerland right there. Oh well. Switzerland crashes and burns, I guess. Terrorists win.
No more cheese.
Well,
No more Swiss chocolate.
It won't have holes in it anymore because that's how they used to make the holes, by shooting it, right?
I know.
Like, you can't have Swiss cheese anymore. No. Oh my God, we have Juleb's in here. When did you get here?
He's everywhere.
I thought they used the wrong link. I thought I was going into a good show. Sorry.
Oh.
No, that's on Friday.
I misunderstood. I saw Gary was in there. I thought it was one of his shows. And then I'm like, oh.
Thanks. You've been on my show more than once.
I'm actually packing patches here, so I'm listening. But yeah, thanks for hosting and posting on gun channels. But and thanks for the link. But yeah, normally Ghost is still blabbing at this point, right?
Well, remember his original schedule was 8 until whenever he decides to stop. Mine is 9, and it's 9 o'clock, so we had to start. You got to keep the schedule, right?
Show must go on.
Show must go on. So we got good news. Good news, guys. Breaking news. A PA judge issued a stay blocking the illegal Pittsburgh gun control laws.
That happened today?
Actually, it happened yesterday, but again, unfortunately, the good news happens before hit or miss, so we have to catch up. Unfortunately. So, Pittsburgh's 3 gun control ordinances will not be enforced until after legal proceedings, according to an order issued by an Allegheny Court Common Pleas judge on Monday. All parties agreed to the stay during a Monday morning meeting held in Judge Joseph James' chamber between city lawyers and legal counsel representing the plaintiffs. Judge James is expected to issue the stay on Monday. Apparently he did. If you remember, Pittsburgh Mayor Peduto embarked on a personal gun control jihad following the Tree of Life incident. His main goal was challenging Pennsylvania's preemption law that prevents Pittsburgh and any other city in the state from enacting gun control laws that are more restrictive than those in force at the state level. Peduto and Pittsburgh City Council flouted the state law and enacted an assault weapons ban, magazine capacity limits, and red flag confiscation, which it's not a city's job to do that. It's a state's. Technically, even the state doing it is iffy, even in my opinion. But again, that's Pennsylvania. What do you expect? All right. All right. Peduto and the Pittsburgh City Council. No, I already read that part. Zunner's goal was to get the state's Supreme Court to invalidate the preemption law by picking a legal fight. As soon as Peduto signed the local laws, the city council members were sued 3 times to be precise. Now things are proceeding just as Peduto envisioned. That's consistent with the city's goal all along, which is to put it in front of the court, let the courts decide whether these ordinances are permissible under Pennsylvania law, said Eric Churchwell, an attorney with gun control advocacy organization Everytown. He's representing the city pro bono. Yeah, I'm sure he is. The city is not looking to prejudice anyone. Oh, really? That's why you treat the Second Amendment like second class. Yeah, right. While those decisions are made, that's why the city entered into the agreement today. Yeah, no, I think he entered into the agreement because whether you said no or not, the judge was still going to put it down on you. No, the city isn't looking to prejudice or prosecute more specifically anyone under the new restrictions, because once that happens, citizens can then swear out a complaint against the mayor and city council for violating state law, and that might unduly inconvenience the elected officials. It might inconvenience them. Well, I really hope that one senator that wants to impeach Peduto, actually, I hope that law gets, or that impeachment goes somewhere, because that mayor really deserves to get thrown out of office. But the judge order prevents the law from being enforced while the cases wind their way through the courts. Meanwhile, a state representative has begun the process of impeaching Peduto over his flagrant disregard for the law. So we'll see how this plays out. But he is violating state law, even if he's a city mayor. Okay, he cannot violate state law by making another law which contradicts it. I mean, it's nice that he wants to try and keep his city safe, and I say that with air quotes. But the issue is, you can't go against state law. So, guys, help me out here. What do you guys have to say on this? Come on, Gary, start clucking.
They should never had the law in the first damn place.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, how it ever got this far without a challenge is beyond me. Just kind of beyond words. I mean, Kansas has a similar law. Individual cities or counties cannot pass laws that restrict gun rights any more than the state does, which state virtually doesn't. So far nobody's challenged it, but
we'll see where it goes. But David, any comments?
The thing is, they're going to cost the state money. That's going to make somebody, and the taxpayers in Pittsburgh.
Well, no. Apparently, Peduto is getting his lawyer for free.
Sure.
Because of every town.
Sure.
Right. It's all paid by Bloomberg.
Yeah. Bloomberg's going to meet his match pretty soon.
I mean, what I don't understand is, why isn't there a billionaire out there that's pro-gun that'll help the pro-gun side? Because apparently, we're always dealing with, because we're being outmatched by, the other side that is able to, the anti-gun side that is able to go and just spend millions of dollars to take away our rights. Yet no one is stepping up to fight against it, but the people. And I don't understand that. Isn't there anybody willing to put some money towards pro-gun stuff?
I do it all the time. I may not pay millions of dollars, but I pay money to the GOA and FPC and stuff like that. Not a millionaire, but you get enough of us. Get people up off their duffs and put a crowbar in their wallets, and let's get some stuff done.
Right?
See, I'm over there trying to package stuff, and then Night Strike's over here saying this stuff, and now I got to stop doing that and come over here and address it.
Please address
Bloomberg. Number one, Bloomberg spending the equivalent of $20 on anti-gun stuff. So we did the math on that a long time ago. I'm assuming it's still accurate. If you take his net worth, what he's actually worth, and what he spends on guns in a month or a year or whatever annually, it's nothing. It's nothing. He's worth billions. He spends millions. I mean, think about the math there. That's like a person who has many hundreds of thousands of dollars spending like $100. right? For him, spending $1 million is literally like a $20 bill or less, or somewhere around there. So that's the first thing. Number one, do we not want a Bloomberg on their side? It would be great if there was nothing on either side, but that's fantasy. That's childlike fantasy, right? So if we're going to have an adversary, do we want an evil adversary that's an idiot, a bumbling fool like Bloomberg, or do we want one that's like actually horrible?
We want one that's smart, right?
No, we don't want one that's smart, right? We want a bumbling fool for an adversary. Yes, we want our adversary.
For an adversary, yes, but
right. So we've
for
got
a backer, we want someone smart.
No, so I challenge that. So we've got potentially one big guy spending a bunch of money. That means there's one individual driving with the motivation, with the intent to do ill, to do harm against this country with that particular motive, with the anti-Second Amendment and restricting people's rights to individual freedom, right? So do we challenge that with an individual who has a heart and a blood circulation and a brain and all the problems that can happen to any mammal on this planet? Do we want one individual with resources that funds our side? Hell no. We want a bunch of people, like Gary just said, willing to throw $20 at it and realizing that 1 million people throw in $20. It's the same as a millionaire throwing $20 million, but it's actually quite a bit more effective because that 20 million people, in order to throw $20 together, have worked together. They have a common interest, which a single entity on the other side is not. He can only pay for motivation based off of paychecks. He cannot motivate at the level with his fake grassroots, his astroturf activism. It cannot foster the kind of stuff that we have when we are doing the fight as individuals. So I don't think we want an anti-Bloomberg on our side, or I guess how would we say it, a pro-gun Bloomberg, because that would be having one person who could fail, one person who could change their mind, one person who could just die because everyone dies, one person that, all these different things could happen to, and then where are we at? Have we become more solid as a group? No, we were hiding in the coattails of some individual who happened to be on our side. That's not a position that anyone seeks to obtain strategically or tactically. So let's work together. Let's realize that we can change the dynamic, and we already have, and that what we want is a group of people that are motivated and work together and that effectively use the resources at our disposal to, move in the same direction, pull on the same rope or something like that. And what we get then is not just matching resources, but better, a motivated activist core that then can address things like, why do we have a 4473? Why is there an NFA? Why is there a GOA of 68? None of these things have been effective. None of them can be proven to be useful. So let's start removing them. And once we're doing that, Bloomberg leaves and he goes to worry about big drinks or some other thing that doesn't have a constitutionally protected right that motivates his adversaries. So no, I say leave Bloomberg set right where he is. He's big, fat, juicy target. He's easy. Once we get motivated and active, he's an easy target to wail on. And the thing is that the fact that they have just one guy who can throw his loose change, which happens to be, the equivalent to us of a lot of resources, towards exploiting victims of, murderers who politically choose a particular item based on, the knowledge that they're going to be infamous. Fuck all that. Let him be that same old, every single time there's a problem, he exploits it, never changes his strategy. We have all the potential in the world to challenge and cripple his attacks once we're motivated, and we're already getting motivated.
All right.
No,
All right. I'm down. Let's do it. But that's why I gave you an invite, G, because I wanted to hear what you had to say on it. So, all right. So, got some news about Brazil. Okay. I mentioned this earlier this year, but Brazil went and signed a thing to ease gun restrictions in their country, and apparently, what they've done so far appears to have been working. So they're looking at easing a bit more. So that's good news for Brazil.
Just think about how many more Tauruses they'll sell now.
Well, no, you just think about how many Tauruses they'll be able to sell in their country.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe they'll only send the good ones to the United States.
You could get all them Spectrums and give them to all the people in Brazil, as far as I'm concerned.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Here's a cute little 380 pistol. It's hard to fire and it only fires every so often, but have fun with it, guys. It's only $5.
Yeah, but it seems that it is working, and it looks like the crime has gone down since they enacted it. And hey, all I can say is congrats, Brazil. Enjoy your firearms. So there's that. All right. I'm out of topics, guys. I'm out of topics.
Out of topics.
I'm out of topics. I thought that was enough to go on. I did want to talk about the Colorado recall effort, but I'm not sure I want to talk about red flag laws.
On Friday nights on Gary's show, it's a professional show. He has topics that take us through the entire time frame of the show. He has it scheduled on the
Thank you, G. Thank you, G. But apparently I don't have Travis here to help me out. So.
And a swag giveaway.
I know I'm also missing a Smeggy. Okay, so if you see Smeggy, let me know, okay? Because I haven't seen him forever. I mean, so there's without Smeggy, I can't do anything. You guys,
You know what happened to that guy. So I'm just saying, he co-hosts this show. Horrible things happen. I'm just saying that's what's happened.
Just disappear.
Oh my God, disappear. I guess that's it. That's it for hit or miss.
Whatever happened to that first co-host, Luke, that nobody ever talks about?
Skywalker?
That's the point. Nobody talks about him anymore.
Luke.
So, yeah, guys. If you see Smeggy, be sure to email me nightstrike1@gmail.com because I miss Smeggy. So if you see him, let me know.
See, here's your problem. You're doing this all wrong. You need to put that on the back of a Mountain Dew.
I can put that on the back of Mountain Dew?
That's how you're going to find Maggie.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't drink milk. You know what cows do to milk?
No, I got to put it on the back of a Faygo.
Well, it used to work, but now you need to put it on the back of a Mountain Dew.
Oh, not on the back of Mountain Dew. So, yeah, we missed the snowman, but apparently that magic snow eventually melts. So, oh well. All right, Armament and Axes, you finally jumped in. What's going on?
Not a lot, man. Thanks for the invite. We had our spring fling, Thunder Valley. Not a lot of creators showed up, but there was a Nazi range officer there, which is funny because I'm NRA certified range officer, and this guy was over the top. But other than that, nothing. It's just life.
Did he go after people for firing consecutively?
No. It's hard to explain. I was standing on the pistol range, and I saw it right in front of me. An Ohio Wolverine, his son was shooting, and he did start to muzzle, and Ohio Wolverine stopped it. I saw his hand go right against the gun before it ever broke a 90-degree plane. Now, mind you, 90 degrees would have put it 20 feet past where the shooting area for the rifle range would have been. This guy, and it took the guy like, 2 minutes to stomp his ass over there and start bitching him out. I'm just standing there going, Are you kidding me? And we had a lot of people say, screw this, including my brother, and leave because of.
So what did Tyven say?
Well, we went up to actually talk to the owner, and
You're cutting in and out.
I said we went up to talk to the owner. I don't know if he was there or not, but he said.
Okay, you're cutting out after you say he said.
Yeah, we'll never know what he said. No.
I'll never know what he said.
He said,
And he said,
That was me laughing. Can you hear me?
I've heard of cheap cliffhangers to keep people around till the end.
but this is ridiculous, right? Oh my god. Cliffhangers left and right. Well, hold up the antenna, Armament Axis, so we can, hear you clearly. All right. Well, we can't hear him, so apparently we'll just have to wait for the cliffhanger for next week. So, all right. Let's go ahead and talk about Colorado. I don't really want to, but we probably should. So, Colorado recall effort targets Aurora representative who sponsored state's red flag law. Colorado has an impressive history of holding anti-gun politicians accountable for infringements against gun owner rights. Since that one thing that happened at a place, the school, in 2013, I don't want to give it any more credit than that, because I think talking about that does not help. Backed by millions of, we're not gonna mention him either. So the state rammed through a magazine capacity limit law, universal background checks, and new background check fee. Because do something, and that led to Magpul pulling out of the state of Colorado. In response, Coloradans initiated recall campaigns against the state legislators most closely associated with the new laws. Despite even more corrupted money going into the effort, to fight the effort, Senate President John Morris was recalled. So was Senator Angela Guerin. It was the first time Coloradans have ever recalled elected officials. And rather than face what polls showed would be sure defeat, Senator Evie Hudak resigned before the election. Opponents failed to get enough signatures to get the recall of Republican Mike McLaughlin on the ballot. Still, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Now Colorado has enacted one of the most sweeping red flag laws in the country that allows virtually anyone, not just relatives and those close to a target, to initiate a confiscation order against anyone who poses a, in quotes, significant risk. In response, a recall effort has been initiated against Representative Tom Sullivan of Aurora, who sponsored the bill. Representative Tom Sullivan needs to be recalled because, like the rest of the Democrats in the legislature this session, he did not represent the families of Colorado, said Christy Burton Brown, an attorney and the vice chair of Colorado Republican Party. She filed a request with the Secretary of State. Colorado mobs were shut down again and again when they came to testify. And Representative Sullivan continually voted against our family's interests. The Democrat overreach this session was simply too far, Brown said. Sullivan's son was murdered in 2012 Aurora Theater. and he has made stricter gun control laws his signature issue. Sullivan, the main sponsor of Colorado's so-called red flag gun law, which allows courts to temporarily remove firearms from people considered a danger to themselves and others, he stands by this bill. I won't be bullied by the gun lobby, and I will always keep my promises to my community and my constituents, Sullivan said in a statement responding to the recall effort. The effort has been certified by Colorado's Secretary of State. Now recall proponents will start the process of collecting a little more than 10,000 signatures needed to get the recall measure on the next ballot. Look for the civilian disarmament industrial complex of Marshall to marshal all its forces out of state billionaires, moms in red T-shirts, the state's editorial boards, to oppose the recall campaign, just like they did last time. So, yeah, it seems Coloradans are pissed off. Who knew? Gary, what do you think? You're close to Colorado.
It's about time they got pissed off.
Closer than I am, at least.
Yeah, I've never been in Colorado, though.
I've been there several times.
Because I'm told that flying in and having a layover in Denver Airport doesn't count. So
I drove over the road. Driving through a state counted if you were there. Come on.
I've never drove through Colorado.
I have.
But if you landed there, you were in Colorado. Even, honestly, if you were in the air, you were in Colorado. Really?
No, I wasn't driving a plane.
Well, Gary doesn't need to drive a plane. All he has to do is just fly.
Did you get off the plane and go to onto land or a terminal and then go to another plane?
He just spread his
I was in
wings.
a terminal. I can't say I touched land, no.
Well, you were in Colorado.
He just spread his wings. He's fine.
You could look out the window and you could say, yep, there's Colorado.
Hey, when I drove over the road, you looked out the window and went, oh, there's another state. I wish I had time to look. I'm imitating steering right now. I wish I had time to stop and look. Yeah.
But when you fly over Colorado and fly over the Rocky Mountains, it looks pretty cool from the air. I will say that.
It does. It does.
Closest I came was flying into Phoenix, and you could see them, when you're up that high and it was a really clear day, you could see the Rockies off to my right, and I'm just looking, and when flying into Colorado or into Arizona, and just, we were up pretty high. You could see planes flying under you, it's like, okay. But yeah.
For a time, my aunt and uncle lived in Colorado Springs. So I went to Pikes Peak a few times. Pikes Peak was awesome. Very high up. But that's all I can say about Colorado. But again, though, it's nice to see them showing some interest in, getting rid of these bad legislators. If only more states would do that, right?
Did y'all talk about Illinois and the bill passing the House about them raising the price on the FOID card and all that stupid shit?
No, because I don't care about Illinois.
I think it's getting worse than Cali, quite honestly.
And realistically, that's not really Illinois. That's Chicago putting forth all that shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah.
And, if you could just cut Chicago out of Illinois, I'll tell you what, right now, if any of your gun control laws wouldn't be there.
Hey, how well does gun control work in Chicago? I mean,
it's keeping all the crime down. I tell you, there's hardly any crime now. Guns are controlled.
No one gets shot every weekend in Chicago, right?
All right, I'm going to throw this at you, whether you're an NRA guy or not. You know how many people at the last NRAM were armed? Every single one of them. You know how many shootings there were? 0. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, wow. Oh, we don't want to look at that, do we?
Wait, what's that? An armed society is polite society?
Oh,
There
yeah.
might be something to that. Who knew?
I've always said, you put a sign out that says gun-free zone. That just says to the criminals, hey, look at the dumbasses. We can go rob and shoot. And oh, yeah. Ugh. So,
Okay, Gung-Ho 1345 says, at Night Strike, thank you for the recommendation last week. I went out and got an AR. Well, good. Now that you've got an AR, get the other stuff, because you know what? Once you can't just buy one gun. Eventually, you're going to buy another one and another one and another one, and the cycle repeats. So knock yourself out. Enjoy the AR. Have fun. Be safe. So,
I always say, oh, well, why do you need this gun? Or no, they don't say, why do you need this gun? Why do you need so many guns? And it's like, well, it depends on what I want to shoot that day. And I love them all. But when it comes down to it, you as a person, you're going to have long gun, handgun.
oh,
Carrying much more than that, and the ammo for it. You got your main gun, then you got your sidearm. But to have those two, to me, have your mains, and then everything after that, well, they're fun, and let's
right. But here, if I ever hear someone saying, "Well, why you need so many guns?" My response is, "Well, why do people need more than one car? Why do people need more than one house? Why do you
need a car that goes faster?
Why do you have more than 4 pairs of pants? Why do you have more than 4 pairs of shoes? Because you want it. There's no law saying you can't have it. So what's the point?
Don't ask women why they need.
No. That's another thing. Don't ask women why they need several million pairs of shoes, because that's a fight you'll never win. But you also use that same defense for your firearms. Just saying. Because I need them.
Yeah. The wealthiest guy either am I, and you got what you got in guns, and you have your main gun and you got your sidearm. After that, this is taken care of, but after that, well, those are because we want them, and yeah, they can take care of business too, but at least two. You know what I mean? To anybody out there, have your two. Have this one and the ammo to go with it. After that, well, then it's just collecting for fun. And
Right.
But why do you need that? Well, because I freaking want it. That's why. Because the Constitution says I can.
You say, why do you need the bitch?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, Gary, exactly.
Mind your own damn business. You want no guns, you want 2 guns, get the proper number of guns you want, leave me alone.
Right. You go over there and do your thing. I'll go over here and do mine.
Scoop says, or you marry a better woman, one that likes guns too.
Oh, yeah.
There might be something to that. I need to find one like that.
Me and Gary are going,
Yeah. I ain't marrying no more women.
Yeah. How many times, dude?
Couple.
You guys made the wrong choices. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go get married when you're 18 years old. What a dumbass, right?
No. Even at 18, I knew women are trouble and cost money, and I don't have a lot of money, so you know what? I'm not gonna mess with that.
I was young and dumb, and we won't go the rest. But yeah,
we know the rest is saying yes.
Yes, and I look back, and I just want to go back and kick myself in the ass. I really, really do. The weird thing is, though, I wouldn't have my 2 children if I did. So, hindsight's 20/20. But looking back, it's like, what a dumbass you were. Happy being single now.
Right.
The happiest thing is when I make money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
when you make money, well, what's the other part?
You spend money.
Anyway. Squibload is saying, get a sugar mama to buy your guns for you. Well, you know, if I could find one.
Ooh, did you see what Calaveras said?
What did Calaveras say?
Says, I'm proposing to my girlfriend in July. Hope that's not supposed to be a secret. She may be watching this show.
She might be watching Calaveras. You don't know. Uh-oh. Let's see.
Congratulations and good luck, Calaveras.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm just checking through the comments. 37 watching, but only I see 17 thumbs. Yeah, guys.
So 20 of them are stealing the chat.
Right. Well, I can't do anything about that.
Hey, there's Stan from SS Pawn.
So we're not cursing too much this evening. So Stan, if you can handle listening to us, thanks for showing up. I appreciate you coming down and listening. We got some questions out there. Gung Ho 1345 is asking thoughts on Colt ARs. Gung Ho, Colt ARs, they're good ARs, but unfortunately, I think they're a little overpriced. They bank more on the name than they do on the price. And you know, if you want a Colt AR, go for it. Know that you're probably going to be paying twice as much as, you know, another company. But again, if you want a Colt AR, go get yourself a Colt AR. Personally, as I said before, I'm a proponent of Palmetto State Armory because, well, you know, a $499 AR-15 still works, still fires. What's the problem? You're not going to see a $499 Colt AR, that's for darn sure. But hey, you know, you do you. What else we got out there? You got any other questions out there, guys? No, we still got to go for another 12 minutes, so yeah. Send us some questions, nightstrike1@gmail.com, and we'll answer them. If you have any comments, suggestions for the show, go ahead and email us. You know, we'll answer it. I mean, I've got Armament and Axis here. You know, if you have any reloading questions, just ask him. Okay.
Palmetto makes some good stuff.
I mean, we got
Colts
Gary
have come
here.
down in price.
So if you need him to give someone the bird,
other AR manufacturers right now. So, you know, when we used to pay.
Well, there's a lot of good AR manufacturers right now. So, you know, PSA I like because they more or less call themselves the working man's AR-15. So, you know what? There's no problem with that. I mean, they're affordable. But again, there's other companies, like if you want something that's more battle ready, then you go for BCM, in my opinion. But, you know, you don't have to. There's a ton of good companies that make ARs these days. So, you know, do your research, you know, ask around, and, you know, go with it. But, yeah, what like the chat says out there,
Honestly, I think if you buy a Colt,
good point.
You're paying a lot for the name anyway.
Yeah, don't buy a Springfield Armory or a Rock River Arms AR-15. Don't do that. Yeah.
Unless it's used, maybe you could do that.
Yeah, unless it's used. So.
Let's see. Gung Ho 1345 says, for the panel, better to reload or to stockpile ammo?
Okay, Armament, go.
Both. I mean, load, buy, just stockpiling, just ammo. If you can reload it cheaper, do it. Just ammo.
Yeah, as far as I know right now, ammo's not going to go bad.
Pile it one way or the other.
And Rob D wants to know, Night Strike, what's
Yeah,
the best
if
affordable
you could
gun to give
buy
as a
it
gift
at a
to a
good
loved
price,
one that's not into guns?
buy it.
Well,
I mean,
if you're given
I look at how much it costs
you're cutting in and out armament.
to reload some things, and
You're cutting in and out. Okay. Let me answer Robbie's question. He's saying, what's the best affordable gun? I think he meant handgun to give as a gift. That's someone who's not into guns. I'm gonna say if they're not into guns, they won't want to pay for for expensive ammunition. So I would say probably. What do you think, Gary? I mean, I would recommend getting them like a Heritage Rough Rider 22.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Because they're inexpensive these days, okay, and two, it shoots 22, which is cheap. And the one thing they'll enjoy is that they can shoot all day long with the 22 ammo.
And it's fun and it's accurate.
Now, yes, if you were going to go and if you were going to get them a rifle, I would recommend, either some form of 22 rifle. It doesn't have to be a 10-22. It can be, if you can find a Marlin Model 60, or if you can get even a Savage 64, which they're very inexpensive rifles because I paid $99 for mine. So the Savage, so just a base semi-auto 22 rifle, they'll love that even more because magazines. More rounds. And you see, the object is to get them into guns and to get them to enjoy shooting guns. And I'm telling you right now, once they start shooting the 22, they'll want to go bigger and better. You got to get them hooked first. That's just my opinion.
And the thing is you're not going to get somebody into shooting when you take them out and shoot a 416 Rigby and go, hey, try this. They're going to be turned off right away.
Right. And here's
start
the thing.
Start small.
Start them with a 22, a rifle. It doesn't have. It can be a semi-automatic. It can be even a bolt action. They make the bolt actions, and those are cheap to find. But just start them off with a 22, and then get them up to from there for a rifle, get them up to the AR, and before you say anything, just take an AR bullet and show them and tell them that both this AR bullet and this 22 bullet are both 22 caliber. The only reason people think that the AR is scary is just because it's black. That's it. That's all you need to tell them.
Well, there's a lot more power behind that AR bullet, but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
There's more. You just tell them that it's the same size as it's a 22 caliber, just like a 22. The only difference is the brass casing is larger. And they put a bit more powder in it to make it go further out. That's it. That's all you tell them. You got to explain that when you get someone who's new to guns, you explain them these things so that they understand and they don't take it the wrong way or think about it differently because of all the propaganda that's already out there. You got to be calm. You got to be collected. You got to explain things. You got to if you have to be there with them and show them the ropes. Show them that they aren't alone in getting into guns, that you're there to help them out and be with them, go to the range with them, hang out with them. Show them that it's more of a sport. If you have to call it a sport, say it's more of a sport where you interact with other people as well. Do whatever you have to, but again, that's my recommendation for trying to get someone into guns that's not. And I hope I explained that well and good enough. I know I'm not great at explaining things, but that's just my opinion.
My biggest thing is
take that with a grain of salt. You have to.
Sometimes you have to. I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like hit or miss Mad Libs.
You fill in the blank check.
Right. At Night Strike, got it. Channel your inner Bob Ross. Well, I don't think it's a situation of Bob Ross.
I was going to.
You were gonna?
You're gonna hit or miss microphones. Yeah. Armament Axis has that problem tonight. You're cutting in and out bad, my friend.
You have to do it in 3-word sentences. That seems to be all you can get out for it cuts you off.
I mean, there are other guns. I'm just giving an opinion and giving a recommendation. I mean, there are more guns that you can look at, Rob, if you want to get them into guns. I mean, there's other handguns that are, just as well. I mean, if you think 22 is a little too easy for them, try 9mm. 9mm is, it's not that much more. But I would recommend easing them into it using the 22, because if you're giving it to them, they're going to want to they're gonna want cheap ammo, because they don't want to spend a lot of money on it, because they're not that interested in it. So you go with the gun that has the cheapest ammo. And the only two calibers that are fairly inexpensive these days are 9mm and 22. 22 more so.
Bucket of bullets at Walmart for $75. 1,400 rounds.
Yeah, it's 1,400 rounds, right?
Yep. My last bucket O is about empty. I got to go get another.
Yeah. Apparently, they're saying you've been cloned. So.
Oh God, I guess that's why I bumped my thing there. Let me see if I can cancel this other.
No. Just leave it like that, because we can hear you finally.
Okay. I will not do a thing.
Don't touch anything.
My golly, Night Strike's the boss of this here, chat.
Well, hit or miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. That's all I can say.
Hey, maybe that's my channel partner brother for there that's not saying anything, because he never says anything, because I'm the one doing all this. He's the editor. I'm this guy.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, dude.
He's gone. You're cutting out again.
Because the other one went away, there's only one now.
Right, apparently.
It takes two of them to make it work.
Damn it.
Right. Rob D saying 22 long rifle works. I'm not knocking it, and you make a good point on the ammo. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it from a new person's perspective. Like, they're not really into guns. They don't know that much about guns. But, if you give them an expensive gun that the ammo is expensive, like, say you got someone a SIG P320 and 357 SIG. They're going to see that a box of 20 rounds or whatnot is like, anywhere between $15 to $25. They're not going to want to pay that. It's just because they're not that interested in it. But if you give them like a 22 and they can go and buy 500 rounds for like $20, from Walmart, then, they see that as they'll be able to, be at the range all day. That's how a new gunner will look at it. It's like, it's about how much enjoyment you can get out of it, and whatnot. But Calver's 32 Special says, at Night Strike, a rifle is easier for many beginners to handle than handguns due to more weight and more points of contact. It's true. That's true. That's why I was recommending some cheaper rifles as well. Not necessarily the 1022, but the 1022 is one of the most popular ones.
Honestly, a cheap bolt action 22 will get you into it. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna mention. I know it's cheap. I know what people say about it, but the Savage 64s that you can get at Walmart. They're like they got 10-round magazines in them,
And they shoot great.
But the Savage 64 semi-auto, I'll tell you what, best $99 I ever spent.
And they shoot great.
And it shoots wonderfully.
Yeah.
I have no problems with it. The only problem I have is the magazine is too short. But again, where you're at, that's not so much a problem. And hey, if you can get get them a rifle instead of a handgun, get them a rifle. But if you want a handgun, go with a Heritage Rough Rider.
There's a lot of low budget 22 bolt action semi-autos out there. I had a Mossberg cost me.
True, but I think he was explicitly asking for new.
They got them.
A new, inexpensive, gun. So, but again, that's just my opinion. So, oh God, Fine Ape is saying at Night Strike, 38 special and a 357 lever gun. Yeah, you could do that, but
Well, then you just buy a 357 Magnum lever gun and shoot 38 special.
Yeah, and you're not getting into that cheap.
Yeah. But again, Rob D asked, and I'm like a little expanding on it. But again, you have to look at it from the receiving person's end a little bit, because if they're given something like this, they're gonna look. The first thing they're gonna look at. Okay, how much does ammunition cost? Because obviously they're gonna shoot it once or twice. When they get it. Obviously give it to them at the range, probably, or or at the home ranch, or however you do it. But that's the first question they're going to ask is how much does the ammo cost?
I know I cut my teeth on a 22, and so did my kids. So
I've never cut myself on a 22, only a 45 ACP.
I said cut my teeth, like cut your teeth. Yeah, never mind. Youngin.
Hey, I got 3 scars on my hand to prove that the 1911 does have sharp ends.
Well, learn how to shoot it better, dang you. Learn where not to put your flesh.
You molested that 1911. It was just fighting back for itself.
Learn never to take it apart. That's what it is.
I never had a problem with that. I built like 3 of them. What?
I had a problem. So there we go.
I had a problem. Is that like I had a dream, only I had a problem?
Now, Rob D, I'm going to tell you right now, do not listen to the Pork Conservative. Listen to Gizzard Gary. Gary, the Pork Conservative is saying he paid $190 for a Spectrum. What do you have to say on the Spectrum?
I did not like mine. I'm not going to sit and say there aren't good ones out there, because there are plenty of people out there who do like them. I'm just saying, and I hate to use the words hit or miss, but I guess I'm on the right program to do that. But it's kind of hit or miss as to whether you're going to get a good one or not.
Right.
A good one, I'm sure, is fine. I didn't like the feel of it. It was too lightweight for me, for one thing. And I already had a small gun like that, and I just didn't like the feel of it. I mean, I thought it was really cool, and I thought I'd like it, but nah. I got something else instead.
All right, so David Bolin left us. He's going over to 2A Tuesday with Sandhill Shooter. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Hey, the orange one just jumped in.
He jumped in for us to wrap it up. So, guys,
wrap it up.
We'll see you. Next week. Take it easy. Arm Nexus, go ahead and give your outro.
Not a lot, man. Thanks for the invite. YouTube, Instagram, gun streamer, yada yada. You know. Thanks, buddy.
All right, no problem. Gary,
Yo,
you're up.
I'm up. What am I up for?
Well,
An award?
wait, I don't know. We're not doing the Gun Channel Awards yet.
A major award that says fragile.
Dang it. Anyway, Foul Territory, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Early bird chat Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Check out my website, gizgary.com. Thanks for the invite, and give him the bird.
Give him the bird. That's right. I think G is still on the phone, so well, that's G. Can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
No, because I ain't going to be told what to do, but I will say thanks for being an institution on gun channels and continually hosting a show for years now. I don't get on very much, but I appreciate the link every week. Thanks for doing the show.
All right. Well, I didn't say you had to do what you were told. I was just offering a suggestion. So here we go. All right. Obnoxious one. Go ahead and say show your channel.
Hey, thanks for having me out. I'm happy to be here. It was an awesome show tonight, and everybody check me out at Obnoxious One, OBNXS1 on the YouTubes, the gun channels, the gun streamer, the tweeter, the gram, all that stuff.
All right. Thank you for showing up. All right, guys. Again, I got links in the description for nightstrike.com, guntube.org, gunchannels.com, and for my Patreon if you want to help me out, so help me do some more videos and be able to do a bit more than what I'm doing with Hit or Miss and the Friday Night Strike when I can do it. And with that, we will see you guys later. So take it easy. Go and watch 2A Tuesday. And, we'll see you then.
Oh, yeah, I'm on GunTube. I'm on GunTube as well.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss.
Shall not be